Center. We get a lot of requests in the nursery for people who want to know how to landscape their house from scratch. What do you do? How do you begin? And we were fortunate to have an opportunity to do that and film it so that if you're looking at this off the web from home, you can just follow the simple steps we've laid out here and do the same thing for your yard. So we went to a landscape architect and had a plan drawn. Had some conversations with the architect about the bed size and the types of plants that we wanted to place in the beds. And early on, we also got Larry Harrison from Old South Landscaping involved to consult on it and perform the actual installation work.
My name is Larry Harrison. I'm with Old South Landscaping here in Lexington, South Carolina. And the project that we're working on with Wingard's Nursery on this 1 acre lot, the whole idea amongst any project, of course, is to have a plan. It's like taking a trip without a map. And this is one thing that people should know when we start talking about plans. If you are unable to go with an architect, a landscape architect, nurseries are a valuable asset in obtaining the information that you need for the plants. And by going to the nursery, they'll actually not only help you pick the plant, but give you information on how it needs to be planted as well. The first thing is to go with an irrigation system. And the reason for that is there's no sense in planting something that needs water if you don't have water. So that's how we start off. Phase one is your irrigation system. We map that out and we use resources within our community, things such as water pressure. In this case, we were able to use a pump that comes off of a lake. After that, it's a matter of designing it and installing it. When planning your irrigation system, you need to keep a lot of things in mind. Of course, one thing is to making sure that the system works efficiently by calculating all the different things that you need to know about the systems. You know, how much water, how much volume will your system put out, how much pressure will your system put out. All those are key because you have to remember that everything that you plant has a different type of root system. For instance, on sod, sod has a root system 3 to 4 inches down, so in this particular case we're using what's called a fogger or a mister. And this is designed to throw out a mist of water that will soak the grass on a slow soak and assist with that growing. In contrast to that though would be a tree like this crepe myrtle. Now this crepe myrtle has a system, root system that is a feet and can become several feet deeper, and we use a drip line for it. And a drip line allows you to run a specific amount of waters in gallons to that plant and do a slow drip so that the entire root ball itself becomes soaked with the water and assisting in its growing. The last is when you have a larger area of grass, particularly say like this area over here, where you want to cover a lot of area, you could use what we would use as a gear drive. And all that needs to be a part of your system when you're thinking about it. So you need to know what type of material you're working with and how deep the root system is and how much water volume and pressure you have in order to get it done, get the job done. Then phase two of it is to go ahead and start putting in your plant material, your trees, your shrubs, perennials, annuals.
Figure out where the sun came up, where it sat, so we could figure out the optimal placement for the plants so that we would have a plant that likes the sun in the sun and those that like the shade in the shade. So we've got our morning shade and afternoon sun lined up in our beds.
Okay. On the subject of bed, of course, you have to bring in trees. The trees are a portion of the bed, and the standing rule is life is short, go big. In this case of this yard here, we have a combination of things because the homeowner plans on being here for a while, so they have a combination. There's some trees that are bigger than others, some that'll grow up, and some that are given the benefits that they need now. There's also some other reasons for trees, as for instance, borders, that they want to be able to separate the property, or that they want to try to hide something. So trees have a big benefit to your property and a big benefit to the big picture for your plan. After approaching the plant material, then the next thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and get your landscape lighting in. Landscape lighting is a low voltage system, so it's fairly easy to put in. But what you want to do when you're putting that in is you want to pick points of your house that you want to accentuate not flood with light. You don't want to make it look like a airport runway, but you want to accentuate the corners and the particular areas of the house that are appealing to you or that make it different from the rest of the area. On the subject of sod, this particular project we use St. Augustine, which is a thick blade grass, and it's very cushioning when you're walking on it, so it has some benefit to the owner for that. An important part of planting anything, whether it's a tree, a shrub, or even grass, is that you have proper soil for the plant to attach to. Around the lake area, basically a clay-based soil, there's very little soil for the plant to grow in. It's very hard for it to grow in. So when you come in and make your initial grade, you need to remember to add your topsoil as well. Amongst that is company policy, my company policy, and my personal policy as well, is we will not plant any shrub, tree, perennial, annual without soil amendments, because this gives that plant the best opportunity it has to become a nice, full, beautiful, mature plant.
Working with Larry was good. We've worked together on several of these, and it's a very smooth process. Once we get the plan together, Larry's able to figure out where the irrigation needs to go and where the lighting needs to go, and actually get everything installed and put down and tested out and get everything functioning. We hope this session's been helpful for you today. If you'd like additional information, feel free to contact Old South Landscaping at 513-3360 or log on to the Wingard's Nursery website at wingardsnursery.com.